Today's latest top stories from Blue Eye Media. And now from our global friendly partners.
So this is a wild story. A Trump voter was detained by ICE with guns drawn in Northern Virginia. He offered to show ID to the officers to prove he was an American citizen, but they handcuffed him anyway. Now the man says he's reconsidering his support for Trump and says he was targeted for being Hispanic. The man said he voted for Trump because he thought he'd just go after the criminals, not target the Hispanic community in general. Here's a clip on this story from NBC Washington. You gotta check this out.
The man we spoke with is a U.S. citizen. He provided us with documentation of his legal status. He says this experience has shaken his faith in the immigration enforcement efforts of President Donald Trump, for whom he voted, he says. He says while he was driving to work with two other men, he was stopped by ICE agents on Lamont Drive in Manassas, a short distance from his home. He says he was confused by what was happening, why agents surrounded the pickup truck.
They just got out of the car with the guns in the hands and say, turn off the car, give me the keys, open the window, and everything was really fast.
The incident has caused him to reflect.
Definitely, because like I say, I was Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, like be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that they will assume we are illegals.
So, do you think that's what they're doing now?
That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like.
According to NBC Washington, a naturalized Hispanic man was detained by ICE. They were looking for another person on a deportation order, but he previously voted for Donald Trump. His name is Genzi Machado, and he even provided News 4 with documentation of his legal status. Folks, this is one of the craziest stories you'll hear. He said he was uncuffed and immediately released after being detained for a period of time after showing his driver's license. But now he is reconsidering his support for Donald Trump. He said, quote, I voted for Trump last election, but because I thought it was going to be the things, like just go against criminals, not every Hispanic looking like that, they will assume that we are all illegal.
So Donald Trump told Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, that he wants to revise the border treaty that determines which territory belongs to Canada and which territory belongs to the United States. This is according to the New York Times, who writes that during a series of never reported phone calls between Trump and Trudeau in February, Trump told Trudeau the following, quote, he did not believe that the treaty that demarcates the border between the two countries was valid and that he wants to revise the boundary. Now, the treaty they're talking about is a 1908 treaty that finalized the international boundary between Canada and America. And apparently on this phone call, Donald Trump told Trudeau that he wants to revise that boundary, and he believed that the boundary was illegitimate. So this reporting concludes that Donald Trump is fully intent on annexing Canada, whether that is through a military invasion, whether that is through weakening their economy through tariffs and trying to force them into surrendering their sovereignty to America, or it's through Donald Trump ripping up a treaty that was signed over 100 years ago to alter the border that separates Canada from America. This man has gone off the rails.
Follow Blue Eye Media for exclusive insights and breaking news sources from global-friendly outlets that you won't get from the mainstream TV and radio outlets of America. Learn how to play the flute of the globe and learn the real truth.